ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणम्। चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्नि निर्वापनं श्रेयः कैरव चन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुदीवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनं। नामकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्ति तत्रार्पित नियमित स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवं दृश्यं विहाजनेनानुरागः तृणादपि सुनिचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानेन मानदेन कीर्तनीय सदा हरि। न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितं वा जगदीश कामहे। मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवतात् भक्तिरहतु की त्वयि। हैनन्दतनुजा किङ्करं पतितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कज स्थितधूळि सदर्शं विचिन्तये। नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदरुद्धया गिरा पुलकेर्निचित्तं वपुःखदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति युगायितं निशेन चक्षुषा प्रावशायितं शून्यहितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे आश्लिष्य वा पादरतां पिनस्तु मामदर्शनान् मर्महतां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विद्युतात्पूलं पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु सहैव न परः मत्प्राणनाथस्तु सहैव न परः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिधि नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, welcome all the devotees. Today's class will be in English, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 8, text number 37. Deva dvisham nigama vartmani nishtitanam पूर्भिर्मयेन विहिताभिर अदृश्यतुर्भिः लोकान् गृह्णन्तां मतिविमोहम् अतिप्रभोभम् वेषं विधाय बहु भाष्यत औपद्रम्यम्. Word to word meaning Deva Dvisham, of those who were envious of the devotees of the Lord. Nigama, the Vedas, Vartamani, on the path of Nishitanam, of the well-situated, Purbihi, by rockets, Mayena, made by the great scientist Maya, Vihitabihi, made by Adrishya Turbihi, unseen in the sky. Lokan, the different planets, Grihanatam, the killers, Mati Vimoham, bewilderment of the mind, Ati Pralobham, very attractive, Vesham, dress, Vidhaya, having done so, Bahu Bhashyate, will talk very much, Aupadharamyam, sub-religious principles. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. When the atheist After being well versed in the Vedic scientific knowledge, annihilate inhabitants of different planets, flying unseen in the sky, as well-built rockets prepared by the great scientist Maya. The Lord will bewilder their minds by dressing himself attractively as Buddha and will preach on sub-religious principles. Hare Krishna. ಈ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಭಗವಂತನ ಅವತಾರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮದೇವರು ಮುಂದೆ ಭವಿಷ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗುವ ಅವತಾರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅವತಾರ ಆಯಿತು, ನಿನ್ನೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳುವ. ಸೊ yesterday we discussed about Vyasdeva. Vyasdeva is the incarnation of the Lord. He is the one who compiled the Vedas. Veda was one. He divided them into 4: Rig, Sam, Yajur, Atharvaveda. Then he wrote 108 Upanishads, 17 Puranas, the Mahabharata, Brahma Sutra, Vedanta Sutra. Everything he wrote, but still he was very, very disturbed in mind, despondent. Narada arrived and told him that you should write Bhagavatam. So on his request, Vyasa wrote Bhagavatam. Actually, Vyasa is aware of everything. He is the Lord. But still Prabhupada says deliberately he did like that. Then finally he compiled the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is known as the essence of all the Vedas. Arthoyam Brahma Sutranam Bharatartha Vinirnaya Gayatri Bhashya Ruposav Vedartha Paribramita Purana Saram Srimad Bhagavatam. Everything is included in Bhagavatam. Therefore it is known as the essence of all Vedic literature. After he wrote the Bhagavatam, he became satisfied. One more important point before we go to today's verse. Parashara Muni, Satyavati are the father and mother of Vyasa. Yesterday I have explained all these points. Parashara Muni makes a statement in the Skanda Purana where he is saying that in every 4 yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali, one Vyasa will come. So in Brahma's one day, 4 yugas into 1000 appear. That is 12 hours of Brahma. So in every 4 yugas, one Vyasa will come. But this Vyasa who has appeared as my son, he is Sakshat Srimad Narayana. So Parashara Muni has made this statement very clear that he is the Lord himself. Shriya idam bhagavatam nama puranam brahma samhitam uttama shloka charitam chakara bhagavan rishi. This Bhagavata is directly Krishna. It is known as the Grantha Avatar. Grantha Avatar. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Samhitam Uttama Shloka Charitam Chakara Bhagavan Rishi. And who wrote Bhagavatam? He is also Bhagavan. Gita Bhagavad Krishna says, Vedanta Krit. I am the compiler of the Vedas, meaning Vyasa. Vyasa is the compiler of the Vedas. So yesterday all these points have been discussed. We will go today to the 37th verse. wherein Brahma is saying about the incarnation of Buddha. In another verse of the Bhagavatam, there also it is mentioning about Buddha. Tato kalau sampravritte sammohaya suhurtvisham buddho namnanjana sutaha kikateshu bhavishyati. Bhavishyati, this incarnation will take place in future. It was already predicted in the Bhagavatam. Just like here also it is being predicted by Brahma about Buddha. So that verse just now which I quoted, Tato kalau sampravritte. In the beginning of Kali Yuga, sammohaya suhurdvisham. Even in today's verse, that verse is there, Deva Dvisham. There it is Suhurda Dvisham. Tato kalau sampravritte sammohaya. Moha means illusion. Sammoha Prabhupada translates as perfect illusion. So this incarnation is going to put people who are envious of the devotees, Suhurdvisham, into perfect illusion. Sammohaya Suhurdvisham. Buddho Namnanjana Sutaha. Buddha, Lord Buddha, he will appear as Anjana Suta, Anjana Devi's son. Kikateshu, in the province of Bihar. Bhavishyati, in the future. So Bhagavat is predicting about Buddha Avatar. Now Buddha Avatar is already, he appeared and also it's disappeared, completed. But there are predictions that he will appear like this. So those who are envious of devotees, they will put them into sammohaya suhurdvisham. So in today's verse, Devadvisham, of those who were envious of the devotees of the Lord. So once again I'll read a translation. When the atheist, there are two classes of men, theist and atheist. Theists are those who believe in God. Atheists are those who are non-believers. Normally, all such non-believers are of Asuri mentality. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, 9.12, Mogasha Moga Karmano Moga Jnana Vichetasaha Rakshasim Asurim Chaiva Prakritim Mohinim Shritaha. So such people who cannot understand that everything is going on under the Lord's direction, Maya Dakshida Prakriti, they can't understand and they think Krishna, Rama to be ordinary human beings. That is 9.10.11. So this 12th verse is saying such people, Mogasha, baffled, Mogasha, Moga Karmano, Moga Jnana, their every attempt to acquire knowledge and Moga Karmano, their every activities are all baffled. Mogasha, Moga Karmano, Moga Jnana Vichetasa. Finally what they become? They finally become atheist. Rakshasim Asurim Chaiva Prakritim Mohinim Shritaha. They become first class atheists. And one of the greatest atheists was Hiranyakashipu. So such people, when the atheist, after being well versed in the Vedic scientific knowledge, see atheists and they study Vedic knowledge, they acquire Vedic scientific knowledge. but they are atheists. Why? They will twist the meanings of the verses. It is said in the Skanda Purana, Vishnu Sahasranam, 1,000 names of Vishnu. Each name of the Lord has got 100 meanings. Each name of the Lord has got 100 meanings. And every Vedic word, every word of the Vedas has got 3 meanings. And every word of the Mahabharata has got 10 meanings. So they will twist according to their choice, twist the words, and then they read Vedic literature. They acquire, after being well versed in Vedic scientific knowledge, annihilate inhabitants of different planets. This is what atheists will do. They will start annihilating the inhabitants of different planets, flying unseen in the sky. Even today there are no such planes which cannot be seen, but they will be flying unseen in the sky on well-built rockets. Rocket is going, but it cannot be seen by ordinary persons. Prepared by the great scientist Maya. They were much, much more advanced. Maya is referred here as a great scientist, material scientist. So they will prepare such well-built rockets, which is unseen in the sky, and they will annihilate all the inhabitants of the planets. The Lord will bewilder their minds by dressing himself attractively as Buddha and will preach on sub-religious principles. So Buddha's teachings are Veda apramana shunyave paratattva. Veda is all false. Everything is void. So in Prabhupada's Pranam Mantra we say Shunyavadi. Shunyavadi refers to these Buddhists. Shunyavadis. Everything is void. Nirvishesh Mayavadis. Nirvishesh Shunyavadi. So there are all over the world these two classes of people, Nirvishesh and Shunyavadis. So one time Prabhupada was asked a question, how is Krishna consciousness different from Buddhism? Buddhism is very popular. Many Buddhist countries are there. But they don't follow the teachings of Buddha. They call themselves Buddhist. They don't follow. Just like there are so many Christians all over the world, they don't follow the teachings of Jesus. So similarly, Buddhism actually he took pity on the poor animals to save them, which are being slaughtered in every temple, taking support from the Vedic literature. Every temple had practically become a slaughterhouse. Then he said, Veda, Pramana, just to save the animals. But today, the so-called Buddhists, they eat anything and everything. All non-vegetarians. So, Prabhupada was asked this question, how is Krishna consciousness different from Buddhism? Prabhupada said, we have got nothing to do with this ism or that ism. Buddhism, Islamism, Hinduism, that ism, this, We have got nothing to do with this ism or that ism. We are preaching the absolute truth. If you are intelligent, you will understand. So Krishna consciousness has got nothing to do with any of these isms. It is related to the soul's eternal religion, Sanatana Dharma. That is Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada says we are preaching the absolute truth. If you are intelligent, you will understand. Actually, everybody's religion is one. There are no different religions at all. Just like Satyam Vada Dharmam Chara. Satya, truth, is universal. You go to any part of the world, any corner of the world, truth has got value. In any court, in any religion, truth has got value. Just like truth is universal, dharmam chara, dharma also is universal. It cannot be different because all of us jivas, not only human beings, all jivas are part and parcel of Krishna. 15.7 Krishna is saying this, Mamaivamsa jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Mana sashtan indriyani prakriti stani karshati. All the jivas are my part and parcel. Now when every jiva is part and parcel of Krishna, how our religion can be different, our dharma can be different. Everybody's dharma is one. All the jivas swarupa is Nitya Krishna Das. Anything other than this is all concocted, man-made. Therefore Krishna is saying Sarva Dharman Parityajya, all these kind of concocted things. Give up. Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. 18.66. Then everything Krishna is saying, Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishyami Masucha. All these different kinds of religions. Give it up. Take up this eternal religion, Sanatana Dharma. Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Surrendering to Krishna means serving Krishna. Serving his instructions, serving his orders. This is surrender. So everybody's dharma is one. Just like in any house you go, they light fire with gas or some other fuel, wood. Everywhere they have to light fire to cook. So any home you go, the fire is the same. Not that this is Hindu fire, Muslim fire, Christian fire, that fire. No, fire, fire. Everywhere it is the same. Same religion. Fire has got. Sugar. Same religion. Sweetness. Prabhupada gives another example of electric shock. Electric shock. Suppose we take electric shock here in India. Oh, Indian shock. In American shock, different. Same thing. Same dharma. Gold. There is no such thing as Indian gold, American gold, some other gold. No, same gold is gold. Similarly, everybody's religion is one. And that Krishna comes himself to preach. Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkrata dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge. So he will come personally, or he will send his representative. The acharyas, Madhvacharya, Raghavendra Swami, Prabhupada, they are appeared. So here it is mentioning about Buddha and will preach and sub-religious principles. Sub-religious principles. Now we'll go through the purport, then we'll discuss a little more. The incarnation of Lord Buddha is not the same Buddha incarnation we have in the present history of mankind. So what these Buddhists are worshipping as Buddha, that is Siddhartha. Great person, no doubt. But he is not incarnation of the Lord. Incarnation of the Lord is different. These people are worshipping a human being who was earlier known as Siddhartha. Prince, he was a young prince, he gave up everything. Siddhartha, that is Siddhartha. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, the Buddha incarnation mentioned in this verse appeared in a different Kali age. In the duration of life of one Manu, there are more than 72 Kali Yugas. And in one of them, the particular type of Buddha mentioned here would appear. Lord Buddha incarnates at a time when the people are most materialistic and preaches common sense religious principles. Such ahimsa is not religious principles itself, but it is an important quality of persons who are actually religious. It is a common sense religion because one is advised to do no harm to any other animal or living being, because such harmful actions are equally harmful to he who does the harm. So Buddha incarnation, again here it is mentioned that Jiva Goswami is saying it is of a different Kali Yuga. Every day of Brahma, I told you, 4 cycles of Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali, they come. So this is of a different Kali Yuga. This Buddha mentioned here in this verse. And what he preached was sub-religious principles. Just like not to harm other living entities. Jiyo or jeene do. Live and let live. You also live, let them also live. Don't kill them. This is not some very high religious principle, sub-religious. Just like Chanakya Pandit, he is preaching about moral principles. They are very essential, moral principles. Then one can go further into higher religious principles. Just like Chanakya Pandit says about who is a Pandit, who is learned. First one is saying is Atmavat, nahi, Matravat, Matravat Paradhareshu. Matravat Paradhareshu. Dhara means wife. Another man's wife should be seen as mother. Matravat Paradhareshu. Loshtravat Paradraveshu. Another's wealth should be seen as garbage. Loshtravat Paradraveshu. Atmavat Sarvabhuteshu. Just like if you press your neck, somebody presses your neck, we will feel discomfort. We will tell, please leave me. So when we cut the throat of animals, they will also struggle so much. They also want to live. So how we treat ourselves, we should treat others. Atmavat sarvabhuteshu sapashati pandita. This is a pandita. So these are all basic things, common sense or moral principles. But they are not something very high religious principles. Similarly, Buddha was preaching about ahimsa, not to kill animals. Have pity on them. Some sect of people, they think animals have no soul. Many times I have mentioned about this. One person is there who is holding a very high position in that society, in that community. Just like Devi Devta, such high position they have given that person, who is no more now, he is dead. That person is dead, but given such high position, something sainthood like that, high position, highest position they have given that person. So that person, when that person was alive, some of our ISKCON devotees met that person in Calcutta. So they asked that person, you preach so much about love. Yes, yes, I preach. So they asked that person, do you eat meat? I eat whatever my devotees give. This was the answer that person gave. I eat whatever my devotees give. Again our devotees asked, does that include meat? Yes. Then devotees asked that person, you preach so much about love. You embrace even poor people. Go to their slum area and embrace them. Very nice. Your love is so much you are expressing. For human beings only. Why your love is not extended to the poor animals and birds? Why you are allowing them to be killed? That person replied, animals have no soul. Our devotees asked back, whatever life symptoms you see in human beings, in us, life symptoms, all those symptoms are there in animals. How can you say that animals have no soul? No answer. That person left. I have no time, and left. So such a foolish person thinking that animals have no soul. And that person got Nobel Prize. And now more than that, some kind of a sainthood they have given. Animals have soul. Without soul, there is no life. Soul is there, life is there. No soul, no life. Yesterday we were discussing consciousness. Bhagavad Gita, consciousness is the symptom of the soul. Consciousness is there, soul is there. No consciousness, no soul. You see any animal, they have consciousness. They have a heartbeat. Birds, they're all conscious. Maybe may not be as conscious as us. Our consciousness level is higher. Their consciousness level is less. That there is no doubt. Trees are like in an unconscious condition. Slightly higher consciousness. Again, ants, insect, little more conscious. Again, more than that, cats, dogs, pigs, more conscious, more conscious. Human being, full consciousness. Now because we have got full consciousness, we are thinking who we are. They can't think like this, like the way we are thinking who we are. No, not possible. Their consciousness is limited, semi-conscious. When the consciousness is developed fully, and it develops only in human beings. Like a small child is there in the house, there is a dog also in the house. Both level of consciousness is same. Dog is also always thinking of eating, sleeping, playing. A small child also is thinking only that much. Eating something, playing, sleeping, nothing more than that. Both consciousness is same. But because this child is in a human body, the consciousness is bound to develop. Whereas in the dog, it will not develop further. Last point, that is. Human child, that consciousness is bound to develop, and it develops. As it develops more and more, then we begin to think who we are. What happens after death? And when we turn to Bhagavad Gita, Vedic literature, we understand that we are not this body, we are soul. Soul, there is no birth, there is no death. All this is possible only in human life, where there is full consciousness. Now, even though we are human beings have full consciousness, it is polluted consciousness. Full but polluted. What is that pollution? Full consciousness, we think we are this body. Now, polluted consciousness has to be purified. Just like water, when it is in the cloud, it is mineral water, pure. The moment it stops, it starts coming down, drops on the earth, falls here, there, in some gutter here, becomes polluted. It is no more pure. Now, again by the sun rays, it can again be evaporated and become pure mineral water. Again it becomes cloud. So similarly, our consciousness is full but polluted. It has to be purified. And the purifying process is that we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Chant the holy names. Hear these literatures, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavat. All this will help us purify our consciousness, polluted consciousness. And when it becomes clear consciousness, we understand the soul, super soul, everything we can understand, we can realize. Just like you go outside. Suppose somebody is sitting in a house, in a room, dark room, all curtains closed, and is sitting there. And he says, there is no light here in this room. Mother is saying, my child, get up. It's already morning. It's already 10 o'clock. No, I don't see any sun here inside my room. All doors are closed. Curtains are put on the windows. He's saying, I don't see. Come out. No. Doesn't want to come out. If he goes out, he can see the sun, he can see himself. Similarly, where there is knowledge, where consciousness is clear, then we can see ourselves, we can see the Lord, Paramatma, Jivatma, Paramatma, everything can be understood. So we'll go further into the purport. Kali Yuga. In the duration of the life of one Manu, there are more than 72 Kali Yugas. And in one of them, the particular type of Buddha mentioned here would appear. Lord Buddha incarnates at a time when the people are most materialistic and preaches common sense religious principles. Oh, I read all this. But before learning these principles of non-violence, one has to learn two other principles, namely to be humble and to be prideless. So where there is humbleness and there is no pride, then he can make progress spiritual life. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Trinadapi sunichena, Tarurapi sahishnuna, Amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. One should consider oneself more humbler than the blade of grass. Trina means blade of grass. Trinadapi sunichena, more humbler than the blade of grass. Tarorapi sahishnuna, more tolerant than the tree. Amanina, never expect any respect, but be ready to give respect to others. Normally people think, give respect, take respect. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us, give respect and don't expect any respect. Amanina, manadena, kirtaniya sada hari. Always you can go on chanting the holy names. Unless one is humble and prideless, one cannot be harmless and non-violent. And after being non-violent, one has to learn tolerance and simplicity of living. One must offer respects to the great religious preachers and spiritual leaders and also train the senses for controlled action, learning to be unattached to family and home and enacting devotional service to the Lord, etc. At the ultimate stage, one has to accept the Lord and become his devotee. Otherwise, there is no religion in religious principles. There must be God in the center. Otherwise, simple moral instructions are merely sub-religious principles, generally known as upadharma or nearness to religious principles. They are all sub-religious, nearness to religious principles. Being non-violent, being prideless, cleanliness next to godliness. This is not the ultimate thing. They are all just sub-religious principles. One has to develop all these things. Then gradually one can understand higher Vedic religious principles. And the higher Vedic religious principles are of to understand God, who is God, to understand all that, and about the soul, and what is the soul's constitutional position, what is God's constitutional position, how the soul is subordinate to the Supreme Lord. All these higher principles one can understand. Gradually one has to make progress. So Buddha appeared to preach the sub-religious principles of ahimsa. So from there one has to develop further. There are stepping stones to higher. Then finally the highest. Most confidential knowledge, Bhagavad Gita is saying, most confident, that has to be understood. What is the most confidential knowledge? Manmana bhavamat bhakto matyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasya yudvaivam atmana matparayana. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me and offer your obeisances unto me. Same verse again repeated in the 18th chapter, 18.65. Manmana bhavamad bhakto matyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasya satyamati pratijani priyosimi. So same four things Krishna is saying, and finally he is saying, you will come back to me. I'll read the translation only. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my dear friend. Pratijani priyosimi. Priya, dear friend. So without fail we will go back to Krishna if we do these four things. Always thinking of Krishna. Manmana. See, we have two minds. One is of the body, subtle material body, and there is the mind of the soul also. Soul has got mind. So manmana, bhavamat bhakto, become my devotee. Prabhupada says, somebody else, some person who is working in an office, he has to be there in the office at 9 a.m. sharp. So he'll get up early morning, 4:35, and start getting ready to go to the office. He has to take his bath, this, that, everything finish, and he has to reach the office by 9. So all the time he is doing this, keeping in the mind about his boss. If I go late, I'll be fired. So similarly, Prabhupada is saying, we don't have to think of Krishna like this. There that person is thinking of the boss, otherwise he'll be fired. Now, Prabhupada is saying, we don't have to think of Krishna like this. Manmana bhavamat bhakto, become a devotee of the Lord and think of Krishna always. How to please Him, how to serve Him. Become devotee and think of Him all the time. Manmana bhavamat bhakto. Matyaji, worship me. Mam namaskuru, offer homage to me. Thus you will come to me without fail. Pratijani, I promise you. Promise Pratijani, priyosimi. So this is the most confidential knowledge. Now we may think we understood this. Not so easy. To understand confidential knowledge, we have to become qualified. It is printed in the Bhagavad Gita. 9th chapter is most confidential knowledge. Now somebody may go on reading, he will understand. No. Only when we become like Arjun, then we will understand. Arjun was qualified. What is Arjun's qualification? Number 1. What is Arjun's qualification? First verse of the 9th chapter says that Anusuyave idam tu te guyatamam pravakshamya anusuyave jnana vijnana sahitam yajnatva mokshasi yashubhat. 9.1. First qualification here is Anusuyave. He does not envy Krishna. Iti guyatamam shastram idam uktam maya nagha etad bhutva buddhiman syat krita kritascha bharata. This is 15.20. Last verse of the 15th chapter. Here another Arjun's qualification is mentioned. What is another Arjun's qualification? Mayanagha, meaning sinless. Iti ghuyatamam shastram idam muktam mayanagha. Mayanagha, Prabhupada translates here as sinless. O sinless one, Arjun's second qualification. Bhaktosi sakacheti, another two. You are my devotee and you are my friend. So for us to understand this most confidential knowledge, we also have to become like Arjun. We should not envy Krishna and we should become sinless. We should become a devotee. We should become friend of Krishna. Then we will be able to understand. So we'll stop here now. Today, Wednesday, we will have a regular program here at Govardhana, starting at 6. Only if there are heavy rains, there may be some changes. Anyway, I will mention in Prabhupada Vani, by about 1 p.m., I will mention in Prabhupada Vani if today's program is there. More normally, it looks like we will have it. Only heavy rains, we may not be able to do it. We'll see, depending on the Lord, what He will sanction. Stop here now. Grantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Dhanyavad.